G'day everyone, how are you going today? It is so very, very good to see you. It's an absolutely perfect spring day here. As you can see, I'm surrounded by all these just glorious, glorious flowers. They're not going to last very long. Today, I wanted to just touch on this very beautiful lens right here. This is the 70 to 200 2.8 Z lens. Now, I've had this for a couple of weeks. We're still in lockdown for another 2 weeks. I might be able to get out, I'm not sure. I'm still working on that. But I just wanted to give a preliminary update because I've had a chance to use it a little bit, not in my normal habitat. I love shooting buildings and laneways and all that sort of stuff, and well, obviously I can't get out and do that at the moment. I have taken it out in the field. I am allowed to go within 5 kilometers of my home. Not as inspiring as what I'd like it to be, but here are my initial thoughts. Firstly, I want to talk about the build quality. I still don't really understand why some people say that the Z lenses look and feel cheap. I actually think that is a subjective opinion. It's not an objective one. The materials in this particular lens here, this is most definitely metal here. This is definitely a metal here, and you expect rubber in these other areas here. So the build quality is outstanding, and I like this kind of semi-matte finished look. I think it looks sleek and sharp. It doesn't look blingy and just sort of throwaway. It just looks like a tool that means business and it's just going to get on with stuff. So look and build quality, weather sealing, the way the dials are working, everything's working very smooth, nice amount of throw with everything and so on. I thought I'd shoot in this location, not expecting the wind to actually get the blossoms directly in front of the camera. But anyhow, it creates a little bit of interest, and we'll see how the focus goes. You can watch my video about focus here. But anyway, back to this. Lots of buttons. We've got these programmable buttons. They're all very cool, and that's great if you use that sort of thing, which can obviously change the operation of the lens. And we have auto focus, and you can fling it over to manual focus if you just want to, like, the button's still there for people who actually want to, you know, focus manually. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, there are people, clearly they've gone to all the trouble of putting a button because there are people that still focus manually. I love that. And then this display, which is cute. Is it necessary yet? Well, look, I haven't really used this in the field yet, so it would be inappropriate for me to say. I like the idea. Depending on how you've got the camera set up, you might be actually looking down onto the lens, and there's advantages of being able to see distance and so on and so forth. So build quality, awesome. Absolutely nothing to complain about. Some people have said that Canon is so class leading with their slightly shorter, it's a bit shorter, 70 to 200, but it pops out. So not only is it exposed from a ceiling ingress of dirt and moisture, moisture and dirt lands on the extruded part, and then you drag that in, well, that's got to go in somewhere. Might not come back out. But also from an impact. If you've got that lens extruded and you whack the ending, if you know about leverage, which I'm sure many of you do, you are more likely to leverage the leverage of banging it onto an object when it's fully extended. It is more at risk than if it's sealed within a cylinder. A cylinder is one of the strongest objects you can find, especially when it's a metallic cylinder. So as much as some people might want to tell you that that's an innovation, personally, so this is my personal opinion, because again, it all comes down to use case. Some people might want a compact 70 to 200 that's smaller and weighs a little bit less, and they're happy to trade those size and weight gains over strength and weather sealing differences. So some people might be happy to trade that. Personally, I am not happy to trade that. I've always worked in high pressure situations where we're on the move all the time and you just have to get things done. Sometimes you fling the camera around and you just tap something. You just don't want to be worrying about it. Like as a professional who's just on the move, you just don't want to think about your equipment. Like sometimes you're shooting on a beach and the sand is blowing a bit. You just don't want to worry about it. It's as simple as that. So some people will trade A for B, some people will trade B for A. The thing is, and I say this with absolute full hand on my heart, I'm sincere, I don't see that as an advancement in the 70-200. I actually see it as a backward step because image quality and integrity of the lens and the lens surviving through as many conditions as I can throw at it is far more important to me than saving, I don't know what it is, like 10 centimeters, 3 inches, and not that much of a weight difference, to be honest. So I am very happy that this is the traditional design of a 70-200. It doesn't feel too heavy for me. Optical performance is measured to me in way more than just center sharpness, corner to corner sharpness. This does all of that. Like you just have to look at the MTF charts and they're showing you that this is even a step up from the FLED, which was an outstanding lens. But there's more to optical performance, and that's things like chromatic aberration, flaring, and so on. And this lens is just handling it ridiculously well. So we're here in the sun, fabulous. Let's see, flare, chromatic aberration. We are looking right directly into the sun. And this is at 2.8. So here we are in at 200%. There's the sun. There's no ND filter or anything on here. And we can see there is no chromatic aberration in this image. That's 100% because we can see how sharp it looks. That is 200% there. Amazing. Into the sun. And it's just handling it. I see not a single piece of chromatic aberration here. There might be the slightest, just the slightest hint, maybe kind of, but this is nothing like what you normally see. That is very impressive. Let's go down to the next frame. Now I think I stopped down here to 5.6. Let's have a quick look at the data. But we're still at 64. This is at 1/8000th at f5. Still not overwhelming the sun because we're looking directly into it. But again, look, we've got tons of detail. This is at 200%. That's at 100%. Relative to the monitor, 200%. Look at the control there, chromatic aberration. I see nothing. This is the sun. This is Sol. Beautiful sharpness. That impresses me. I'm not sure I've ever seen anything quite like that. Honestly, very cool. And then I thought I'd just quickly show you some, where are they? Some other images. To me, shows the rendering prowess. I'll just make that full frame. I was just having a look at what that looked like square. This is full frame, 100% there. We're waiting for it to render. I think that's 100 there. Yeah, that's 200%. So I don't think 200% is very helpful for us because here we're actually a pixel. What's happening here, just for those who don't know, a pixel is rendering a pixel. So this is just out of camera and I'm shooting flat profile. I just think that's a ridiculously beautiful rendition of texture and color. And then I really love this soft background. Let's go into 100%. And that's looking good to me. Yeah, so I'm not in a position to be able to get out and shoot what I want to shoot yet. But, well, let's have a look at this one of these ones just for fun. Not sure I like this style of editing where the palettes disappear, but it makes it larger on screen. So that's kind of cool. Oh, I've cropped this one to square. Again, for me, this image, it's got beautiful, soft areas in here. And then I think the rendition looks lovely. I think I've turned up the sharpness maybe a smidge, have I? Oh, just a little bit, but it's going to make very little difference. Look how lovely this texture is in here. That's 200%. Let's go back to 100. Just have a look. This just looks totally real. Colors are very accurate. Everything is just looking so spectacular. So that gives you a bit of an idea. Like I said, I haven't been able to fully test the lens as I would want to. So what I'm finding so far is it is handling these situations, and it just looks sublime and soft and creamy and lovely. So far optically, I'm very impressed, more than just sharpness, kind of just everything that you'd look at. The next thing I want to talk about is the background bokeh, just the creamy, soft, gorgeous, cinematic look of this lens. I've videoed about 4 of the last 6 videos with this lens. I love the look so much. At times I didn't want 70mm, so I've switched back to the 50, and we're shooting on the 35mm 1.8 ZS today. But when I did have space to use this lens, it just to me looks, I don't want to say perfect because that's a bit ridiculous, but I'm completely satiated with the visual quality of what I'm seeing. It looks yummy. I really want to eat it. It just looks so fantastic. So the background out of focus areas just look sweet. They look spot on. There's no negatives so far. Like I said, this is just a preliminary. I'm putting this out because I'm still in lockdown. So there's more to come on this. But so far what I'm seeing, just impressed, just impressed. And then the next thing I want to talk about is the speed of focus. This thing is, on the Z7 or the Z6, ridiculously fast at jumping between objects. Again, I'm sure there's people that want more, but there's people that want more focus in general. Obviously with this lens, it has vibration reduction. The VR built into the camera, well, the in-body image stabilization. So with the IBIS and the VR, we are getting something very special that I haven't seen before out of a Nikon camera. And the reality is, when you just get out there and you start shaking, and I'm shaking. So I'm very impressed by the VR and what the VR is managing to achieve. This is just great. Right now, minimal early testing. This lens is completely meeting expectations. Time will tell when I put it in conditions that I'm more used to, I suppose, which is, say, at night, in the rain, shooting the things that I'm more commonly look at. Like, I like to push the envelope, so it'll be interesting to see how it reacts when I'm pushing the envelope a little harder than being out here on a bright sunny day like it is right now. But love the feel, love the look, love the in-body stabilization, love the sharpness, love the bokeh, and love how it's controlling flare and chromatic aberration. This is most definitely another step forward for Nikon. And now we've got the Z7 II and the Z6 II announced, and the formal spec release is in a very short amount of time. Well, I think this lens will shine even more on those cameras with 2 processors. So very exciting times to come. We'll be able to test that out in the coming weeks and months. Hopefully we see those cameras, say, November. I'd like to see them starting to ship in November, if we're going to hear about them in mid-October. All right, everybody. Love to hear any questions you have about the 70-200 2.8 ZS VR, whatever lens that's got along. Let's do that again. All right, everybody, I'd love to hear any questions that you have about the Z mount 70-200 2.8 VRS lens, please, in the comments below. And also your thoughts. Some of you have them already, I've heard from you, and now you've had a chance to use it for a couple of weeks. Tell us also what you think about that lens. It'd be so lovely to hear, because some of you are not in lockdown. All right, everybody, as always, so very good to see you. If this is your first time here, it is spectacular to meet you. I'd love to see you again, so please subscribe. Please share this video. Let the world know what's going on in the Nikon Z or the Nikon Z space. We would love that. And please like. All right. I will see you soon. And if you want to watch over 200 episodes right now, you can just click down there. All right. See ya. Okay, let's take a still. Let's take a still right here at 2.8, 70mm, 400th of a second, 64 ISO. Boom, there it is. Love it.